walked away, I called out your name. It was at that very moment I knew I would not be the same. You left me broken all alone, and now you will not pick up your phone. Did you think that would get me feeling down? No, that made me drive all around that old small town. Did you think I would drown in your pain? Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. As you drove on by that old glowing neon sign, you see me walking in with someone new. You thought you left me broken and alone, waiting for me to pick up that damn phone. Did you think I would move on? It was a new day you left for me tomorrow. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Hell to the no, let me explain. I drove up to that old dive bar on the corner of a new tomorrow. I thought I was going in to drink away my sorrows. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long. Instead I danced the night away. Boom bopping, bar hopping, body rocking, foot stomping all night long.
If you haven't done so yet, like that, check this thing out behind me. I didn't know I could do that. I was able to put my thumbnail on there. I'm not all dressed up tonight. I'm actually in my pajamas. I couldn't come live earlier because I forgot it's Tuesday. Tuesdays and Thursdays I babysit, at least till the hubby gets home. But I want to try to cover Nancy Guthrie. I've seen Dolly Vision out there. I've seen him following JLR around and JLR not talking to Dolly Vision. I've been paying attention to all of the rhetoric going on about this camera coming in. But the one thing I caught that I haven't seen anybody out here in the true crime community cover yet is the fact that the Bitcoin was paid about 3 hours ago. There was movement in the bank account. TMZ reported it. I don't know if people just missed it. I don't know if somebody has covered it and we missed it. But we are going to go over the video from the porch. But I wanted to share this video with you first. I think there's movement, and I heard they were questioning somebody. I wonder if the movement from the Bitcoin, along with the video that they were able to recover, had anything to do with it.
And some note for Nancy Guthrie. And Harvey, let me just start because I know you've got a lot of news here. You've got some new information right now. What are you learning?
So we have talked with multiple law enforcement sources who are involved in the investigation, and they believe that whoever kidnapped Nancy Guthrie is from the Tucson area. One of the big reasons they believe that is because both ransom notes went to one or two local stations in Tucson. And the person who wrote the ransom note, and we are told that they believe that ransom note, or they're operating under the belief now that that ransom note is real, is legit, that it was written by somebody very familiar with the area, somebody in the area, and all.
So yesterday I had watched a video where they were talking about that, and there was somebody from TMZ, I can't remember who it was, I'll have to look and see if I can find the video again, but there was somebody from TMZ that said that they had read the note over and over again, and that they felt that the person was from Arizona when the note came in, because they were referencing things in Arizona that they didn't think an outsider would be able to reference. They weren't able to read the note, but they were able to tell little things with the FBI. Let me see if I could find what I was watching. Uh-oh, guys. Hold on. Go with Pappy. I'm live. Shut my door, baby. Go with Pappy. I love you. They should be in bed. Okay. Let me go see if I can find what I was watching last night. I didn't watch too many videos today because I was babysitting. So I'll show this tab. Where did it go? New leads. I don't know where it went. I'll have to find it. We'll look it in TMZ. But there was, like, in the first couple nights that they were looking into this case, when the letters came in, TMZ was given like little feels of what was in the letter and what the letter made them feel like. And they were reporting that they had felt that person was from Tucson. All right. I really want you to hear that the Bitcoin was paid. That's scary to me. But I wonder if it will be what a lot of people think that the Bitcoin's untraceable, but I was watching something else that it actually is not untraceable, that they can trace it.
Within 12 hours. So it's within a 700-mile radius. To pay the money, we will get Nancy very familiar with the area, somebody in the area. And also, when you look at what they said, and Aaron, we talked about this yesterday, that they said if you pay the money, we will get Nancy back to Tucson within 12 hours. So it's within a 700-mile radius of Tucson, but they believe it's within that television market.
And it sounds like from what you're saying that they're going under the assumption that, and let me ask this to you directly. The person who wrote the ransom note, you're saying, is from the Tucson area and is related to the kidnapping. What is your understanding as to whether they think that that is related to the person that we now have video of outside Nancy Guthrie's door? Are those the same people, the person at the door and the person writing the note?
It's well, I can't say that that's the person who wrote the note. They haven't told me that, but yeah. I think it's pretty easy to connect the dots that the person there, who is completely covered up, who also has a gun, is probably the person who abducted Nancy. Now, whether that person had help and that's the person who wrote the ransom note, I don't know, but they believe. And again, I don't want to say they are positive that the person is from.
We are going to go over the videos. I'm going to go find some other stuff that was on there. I have theories and speculation, but then I also have what might be truth. To me, it looks like there might be two men there. From the still shots to the video, when you see this guy enter, he looks to the side like he's looking at somebody for an okay. It's odd. This poor lady had to have been so damn scared.
The Tucson area, that is what they believe. And that they believe this ransom note is connected to the person who abducted Nancy.
So obviously that it's legitimate and it's from the Tucson area, that person is, which I know, Harvey, is something you had been saying based on your own, receiving of the note and how it read and what you had seen. So this corroborates that. Now, the ransom note that you received had that Bitcoin address for a ransom payment. We're now 24 hours and 25 minutes past the deadline for that payment. And I know you have still been checking for any payments. What are you seeing?
So about 12 minutes ago, we saw activity in that account.
Activity like what?
That's what I can't talk about. There are reasons I can't, but all I can say is there is now activity in that Bitcoin account.
Okay, now let me just ask one more question and you'll share with me what you can. But when you say activity, is that you can see money is going into the account, or are you able to tell whether it's money going in or going out?
Well, it would only show, as I understand this, money going in. And the only thing you would see is money. And Aaron, that's all I can say.
Okay, all right. So obviously that's crucial information. So you're saying about 12 minutes ago, so you actually saw money go into that Bitcoin account. And just to be clear, this is the Bitcoin account in the first letter where the individual had said, you're not going to hear from me again. And this is where to wire what the second letter made clear after last night would have been $6 million.
Yeah, yesterday I said to you that I didn't know whether that second letter may have contained a different Bitcoin address. I don't think it did now, because I can tell you that the link we have from the first letter is what we've been checking. And again, all I can say is, as of a few minutes ago, for the first time, we saw activity. Now,
Harvey, can I ask you one other thing? And I know you can't tell me how much money, and you can't say that. But does it allow you to see any kind of notification as to anything about, for example, when you Venmo somebody, and you can sometimes see things publicly about who's Venmoing or what it's about? Is there anything that would be identifying about it, even if you can't understand what the identifying is, or is it simply a balance?
Yeah, I was worried coming on because of your persistence. I am in a tough spot right now, and maybe later we can talk about why. But I can only tell you that we have seen activity in the account.
Okay. Now, Harvey, from your understanding from your law enforcement sources, okay, is that activity related to, I mean, because we obviously got the images just a few hours ago, right, of that individual. And now we have all this action going on the ground around Nancy Guthrie's house, around Annie Guthrie's house, with FBI teams and sheriff teams.
Green eyes, I've been waiting for you to come in. I have been covering something I ran into on your channel, which was Prayer Garden. We're going to have to get into it. Check out my live from last night. I don't want to derail. We could talk about summer in a little while, but I just want to make sure I get some of this Nancy Guthrie, and I actually want to go over maybe some Epstein stuff too. But yeah, I'm covering it a little bit.
Is that related in your understanding to anything that we're seeing in this account from law enforcement sources?
I don't feel comfortable answering that. And I'm not trying to be cagey. I will explain at a point why, but I just cannot say anything right now. I will say that, it's not like, I don't know if you've talked about this yet, but the images and the video that we saw today, this is not something that law enforcement had and just decided to finally kind of dole out. They just got it as well. So they were not withholding it. They released it as soon as they got it. Whether you connect the dots or not, you do as you wish, but I'm just telling you that, yes, the video came out earlier today, and a few minutes ago, there was activity for the first time in this account.
I mean, obviously, that's the most significant news that we have received of the day here. What you're saying about that, and just to emphasize it again, that Harvey Levin at TMZ is reporting, because he has that Bitcoin address in the first ransom note, that there was activity in it about now 13 minutes ago, Harvey, and that was what had been provided to the Guthrie family as to where they were supposed to send the ransom money. So, Harvey, do you think that we're there? That something major is about to happen in this case tonight?
I don't know. I don't know. I know that there is an active investigation right now, and it feels more vibrant than it did when it felt like everybody was at a kind of a standstill a few days ago. There seems to be more going on right now. There seem to be more moving parts.
All right, Harvey Levin, thank you very much. I appreciate talking to you so much. Thanks.
News on day 10 of the search for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. Joining us now from Arizona is Mark Santia, MS Now investigative reporter. Mark, what is the latest?
What we can tell you, according to one law enforcement source, a person is in custody and being questioned right now in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. We do know, again, a person is in custody and being questioned by investigators right now in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. As I should tell you, at this point, we don't know much about that person. We also have not heard any word about Nancy if she's been found, but we do know at this point, one person, according to a law enforcement source, one person is in custody and being questioned in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. We are right now standing about 15 minutes from the border, just to tell you about the radius of this investigation. Earlier today, new video, new pictures were given out to the public, sent out. We really saw this investigation start to pick up steam. We can tell you that FBI agents were in this area near the U.S.-Mexico border here. They were tracking down some leads. They were also across Tucson. We saw FBI agents, Border Patrol, as well as the Pima County Sheriff's deputies in the area around Annie Guthrie's home. Annie Guthrie, the daughter of Nancy, as well as the sister of Savannah. They were in that area. They were talking to residents there. They were going through the brush, looking for any sort of clues, evidence, working together. We saw more than a dozen federal agents as well as local police working there. But again, a major break in this case, day 10, a person in custody and being questioned by investigators right now. Again, we are being told that by one law enforcement source. This investigation really picking up today when those new images were released, especially that video. Law enforcement sources telling us they expected a flood of calls to come in. We don't at this point know what broke this case, but we know people were calling into the command center. That video of the suspect on the porch on the front area of Nancy's home, that they were able to see that that person had two pairs of gloves on. He did have what appeared to be a gun in his front waistband in a holster there. Approached the house, he was covered, but you could still see things, right? You could see that his eyebrows were very well groomed. They were trimmed. He appeared to have a mustache. So a lot was gleaned from that, as well as
What's really funny is everybody you could see very well clear through his ski mask that this person is very groomed. Okay, but Jays for Justice was over there trying to show you that he had really bushy eyebrows and was going after Annie's husband. I don't personally think that it was Annie's husband in the photo, in the video, and we're going to go look at a better video of it. Something else I was doing that I didn't have a chance to finish. I have the Broadcastify, the arc where you can go back in the archives. I pay for a subscription. So I'm also looking for the 911 call. If I find it, I'll put it out in a video and we'll listen to it another night.
Person's gait. And in an earlier post from Savannah Guthrie herself said, someone knows this person. If you really look at it, the law enforcement sources we talked to said, hey, that gait, the movement, the backpack, the clothing, there was enough there to generate some tips, some leads. We can tell you that Pima County Sheriff's Office, as well as the FBI, Border Patrol, the task force officers, they have been working nonstop since Nancy has gone missing 10 days ago, following several leads. We know, again, just talking about the radius, we're about an hour and a half south of Tucson here near the border, the U.S.-Mexico border.
So I wonder, now that we got somebody being detained and being questioned, as well as the ransom being paid, I wonder if they got Nancy, or do they believe this is somebody that crossed the border? That area of Arizona is very, very desolate. It's all borderland. It goes into Yuma, where my father's borderland was. We know it's dangerous. We hear about it. We hear about ICE. I really do find it interesting that the feds had ICE in here going door to door today, and they are really involved. A lot of people are stating by this picture that they think that this guy looks of Hispanic descent. I don't see it, but maybe it's just me. To me, the mask, his eyes look so fake. I don't know. There's just something about it that doesn't feel real, but you could tell that it is. I don't know if he has glasses on or if it's the flashlight he has in his mouth. Just crazy that somebody could just go take someone's whole ass mom.
Border here, agents have also been around the Tucson area, but again, at this point, we know a person is in custody. That person is being questioned by law enforcement at this time. We don't have much more than that. We don't know where they were taken into custody. We don't know if there's any connection at this point. We don't know who that person is. We're expecting to learn much more in the coming hours. We still haven't heard if there's a press conference planned. Kash Patel saying earlier, FBI director saying earlier, they were looking at some people of interest, a person of interest, sort of knowing what was about to happen. And the FBI director, correct, we are told, again, a person is in custody, being questioned at this time. Back to you.
Mark, when we see that video today, 10 days after the abduction, it leaves us wondering, why haven't we seen that video earlier, especially if it was going to be so helpful to the investigation as it appears to have been today?
Even regular news sources get on my nerves sometimes. So if you remember when this lady first went missing, I did cover it one night. I didn't know what was going on, and I popped it on and we went over it. But if you remember correctly, they couldn't get that footage because she didn't pay for a subscription. So they had to go scrub the footage and find another way. Well, from everything I've been seeing today is that it was something through Google they were able to break and get in, and they just got this footage today and put it out as soon as they got it. Then we see movement with the Bitcoin. I seen in Dolly's chat that there might have been a rush to a Motel 6. I didn't see nothing else about that. But we do know that they went somewhere and they arrested somebody. They did put somebody into custody. So, I don't know. I want to go over some of Dolly's footage, I think. Not for this case, but I want to show you the great lengths that they went to find this woman who comes for money. somebody who's important to America because her daughter is a news broadcaster. It really fucking bothers me that there are so many other missing people out there and that Trump pulled all the stops here. We don't see this for a 5-year-old Summer Wells, and it bothers me. Of course, I want this lady found, you know. I want everybody to look for this woman, but I would like to see this kind of detail in every missing person's case. I don't understand why Trump has the ability to send FBI. Trump's been very involved in the Guthrie case, the Epstein case, too. We might get there in a little bit. But I don't understand why he can't do this for people like my friend Lisa or Summer Wells or Michael Vaughn, which by the day I seen thumbnails that there's not going to be any more charges for Stacey. How heartbreaking for Brandy. But anyways, let's put this back on.
That's a very good question, and that's something we asked law enforcement as well. It appears that there was some technical issues with the camera, with that Nest camera, and that investigators, specifically, this is something the FBI is very good at. FBI agents from Quantico across the country, very good at this sort of technological move. They were able to sort of get in, work with private companies, and access that video. We were told, I'm not tech savvy at all. And the way it was explained to me from a law enforcement source is if you're walking on the beach, those footprints, you leave imprints. So even if a camera isn't rolling on you, isn't recording, those prints are in that device. You just have to have the right people sort of get in and extract that. And this morning, they were able to extract those images, the still photos, as well as that video. They got that video out, and hours later, you now have a person in custody. And again, that video, if you look at it, well, it's not color, it's black and white. What does it really show? But it showed so much to investigators, as well as if you knew that person, if you knew the gait of that person, the movement, the eyebrows, the possible mustache, that was enough to have someone pick up the phone and call. And also for investigators, if you look at that video on the front porch area, you see the person, but you also see that archway. Based on that, investigators are able to take that sort of fixed position, look at the suspect, measure the suspect. They can give you the suspect's height, a weight on the ground. You see those tiles, those pavers on the ground right by the front door. Investigators tell me they're able to look at those tiles, take the measurement of those tiles, and then take the shoe, sort of the measurement of the suspect's shoe, figure out a shoe size from there. So much was gleaned from this information. Again,
there really is so much you can get from a video like that. I'm going to move on. We're going to go. We'll listen to this one about the man detained.
Breaking news here at 7 o'clock tonight, a major development in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Today, the FBI going door to door in a neighborhood about 4 miles away.
The haunting new video out of Tucson showing a masked person with a gun disabling her front door camera. We're there live.
NBC4 News at 7 starts with breaking news.
As we just heard, right now at 7, there is a major new development in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Person of interest has been detained in Tucson just hours after the FBI released those new images of an armed and masked person at her front door. We have that live report from Tucson.
Robert Kovacic is live in Tucson for us with the latest developments for us. Robert.
I can't believe that nobody's listening. That nobody heard. Nobody's reporting on the fact. Let's go listen to this again. That somebody paid the ransom. There was movement.
Also received that initial ransom note for Nancy Guthrie. And Harvey, let me just start because I know you've got a lot of news here. You've got some new information right now. What are you learning?
So we have talked with multiple law enforcement sources who are involved in the investigation. And they believe that whoever kidnapped Nancy Guthrie is from the Tucson area. One of the big reasons they believe that is because both ransom notes went to one or two local stations in Tucson. And the person who wrote the ransom note, and we are told that they believe that ransom note, or they're operating under the belief now that that ransom note is real, is legit, that it was written by somebody very familiar with the area, somebody in the area. And also, when you look at what they said, and Aaron, we talked about this yesterday, that they said if you pay the money, we will get Nancy back to Tucson within 12 hours. So it's within a 700-mile radius of Tucson, but they believe it's within that television market.
And it sounds like from what you're saying that they're going under the assumption that, let me ask this to you directly. The person who wrote the ransom note, you're saying, is from the Tucson area and is related to the kidnapping. What is your understanding as to whether they think that that is related to the person that we now have video of outside Nancy Guthrie's door? Are those the same people, the person at the door and the person writing the note?
I can't say that that's the person who wrote the note. They haven't told me that, but yeah. I think it's pretty easy to connect the dots that the person there, who is completely covered up, who also has a gun, is probably the person who abducted Nancy. Now, whether that person had help, and that's the person who.
You know what really kills me is you hear all these news stations, they're all bitching about and laughing about the way this guy had their gun. My brother was involved in a home invasion. When somebody answered the door, the little dickhead held a gun to a lady's head. It was easily accessible. I mean, you think about it, you're able to grab it when it's right in front of you. Something that pisses me off about this area they live in, there's no street lights. There's no lights coming from people's homes. They have rules that they have to follow because it's considered a stargazing community. So they all want to live in an area where they can stargaze, and that's what their HOA and all of their rules imply. I was watching something yesterday that said that. You know what? The stars are beautiful, but go put a football field out where people can come in and stargaze from a distance. Our communities need to be safe. There needs to be street lights so that the Ring cameras can pick shit up. This was luck that they were able to pick this up, but they would have been able to pick up cars, license plates, and so much more and get this maybe quicker from another camera had they had the street lights on the streets. To me, that's just dangerous. I wouldn't want my 84-year-old mom who lives alone in a, $7 million, how much is it? $4 million home by herself. Nobody there with her. Like, what does a lady that old need a house that big for? You could put her in a retirement community. Hey, Belladonna. You could put her in a retirement community where she would be safe and secure at that age. Nobody at 84 years old is able to protect themselves. I'm floored. I'm sure that Guthrie's, I'm not putting the Guthrie's down. I'm sure they weren't thinking about that long term, and we don't know how long this lady actually lived in this home. But I for sure as a hell wouldn't want my 84-year-old mother living where there's no street lights allowed on the street. I don't get it. Is like life that fancy for you?
Who wrote the ransom note? I don't know, but they believe. And again, I don't want to say they are positive that the person is from the Tucson area. That is what they believe. And that they believe this ransom note is connected to the person who abducted Nancy.
So obviously that it's legitimate and it's from the Tucson area, that person is, which I know, Harvey, is something you had been saying based on your own, receiving of the note.
They paid it, Bella. That's what this is. There's not many news reporters reporting on it. I don't know if it just hasn't gotten around yet. But TMZ, Harvey Levin, is going to tell us, I covered it at the beginning of this, but they paid it. There's activity in the Bitcoin account. It might be why so much has happened today. While everybody's saying it's the camera footage might have been a distraction while the payment went through, in my opinion. But they paid it. That's what you're about to hear.
And how it read and what you had seen. So this corroborates that. Now, the ransom note that you received had that Bitcoin address for a ransom payment. We're now 24 hours and 25 minutes past the deadline for that payment. And I know you have still been checking for any payments. What are you seeing?
So about 12 minutes ago, we saw activity in that account.
Activity like what?
That's what I can't talk about. There are reasons I can't, but all I can say is there is now activity in that Bitcoin account.
Okay, now let me just ask one more question and you'll share with me what you can. But when you say activity, is that you...
It leads me to believe that this guy must have sent a third ransom note that they didn't report on, because the deadline was over, and hours after the deadline's over, they still paid the Bitcoin. That's so scary.
You can see money is going into the account, or are you able to tell whether it's money going in or going out?
Well, it would only show.
They have somebody in questioning, one person detained. I'll share that video again in a minute. Before I move on to, I want to go to how crypto Bitcoin could lead back to the alleged abductors. But we'll watch this video, we'll finish this one, and then I'll put the next one on again so that you can hear that somebody's been detained.
Clear after last night would have been $6 million. Just to be clear, this is the Bitcoin account in the first letter where the individual had said, you're not going to hear from me again. And this is where to wire what the second letter made clear after last night would have been $6 million.
Yeah, yesterday I said to you that I didn't know whether that second letter may have contained a different Bitcoin address. I don't think it did now, because I can tell you that the link we have from the first letter is what we've been checking. And again, all I can say is, as of a few minutes ago, for the first time, we saw activity.
Now, Harvey, can I ask you one other thing? And I know you can't tell me how much money, and you can't say that. But does it allow you to see any kind of notification as to anything about, for example, when you Venmo somebody, and you can sometimes see things publicly about who's Venmoing or what it's about? Is there anything that would be identifying about it, even if you can't understand what the identifying is, or is it simply a balance?
Yeah, I was worried coming on because of your persistence. I am in a tough spot right now, and maybe later we can talk about why. But I can only tell you that we have seen activity in the account.
Okay, now, Harvey.
That tells me that they upped their price. He's not confirming what they put on. Does this have to do with Epstein, you think, or no? Not this. No. Not this case. I don't think it has to do with Epstein, unless it was Katie. Why do I keep wanting to call her Katie Couric? Savannah Guthrie was reporting on Epstein. I was thinking about that. What were the things lately Savannah Guthrie was reporting on? And I found something really fucking interesting that might have led. Okay, it's a new page. That might have actually led to the interest in her home. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. This 8-minute video was aired 3 months ago on November 5th, 2025. And how dumb, not dumb, but how sad is it that in America, if you're a TV show host, now you have to worry yeah, they asked for 6 million. The first one was 4 million if they paid it in a 24 hour in the first demand. Then they gave them a second deadline, but they raised it to 6 million. And now Harvey Levin is on there stating that he can't give the amount. All he can say is that there was activity. So that's leaving me to believe that they may have upped it, that they may be in contact with the person and just didn't put it out. But this, Savannah Guthrie did this video November 5th, 2025.
The start of a very special and very personal new series. It's called Homecoming Today.
And Savannah, we're going to start with you. You took us back to your old stomping grounds.
Oh, yes, here we go. You know, I'm really excited about this. When people ask me, where are you from? I'm always proud when I say Tucson, Arizona. I grew up there, went to college there. My mom still lives there. And honestly, a part of me has really never left. So thanks to our sponsor, Visit Tucson, I got a chance to go home to show you everything from the giants of the desert to the people who raised me, and really why Tucson is unlike anywhere else in the world.
There is no place like home, especially when home is as stunning a place as Tucson, Arizona, where the sunsets paint the sky every single night, and every cactus is an old friend. Prickly pear, saguaro. This is the jumping cholla, because if you walk past it and brush it, it jumps out at you. Or, in some cases, frenemy. Ow. Still sharp, but Tucson is more than its breathtaking landscape. It's a vibrant community and cannabis.
Hi, Joe. I'm Savannah Guthrie. Nice to meet you. This is beautiful.
Thanks. Joe Padgett has transformed Tucson one wall at a time, turning bland buildings into colorful celebrations of desert life and culture.
Just gonna do a little arc like that.
Okay. I'm leaving my mark on Tucson.
That's a finished Gila monster tail.
And speaking of desert creatures, no trip to Tucson is complete without visiting the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. A frequent elementary school field trip for me, it's home to hundreds of animals native to the Sonoran Desert. Like javelinas, those wild rascals that were always knocking over our trash cans growing up. And a brand new bouncing baby.
This is our porcupine pine cone who actually came to us from New York.
After weeks in quarantine, he's making his big debut with us.
Honey, I'm bringing home a pet.
But it was all just a warm-up for Klaus.
He's about as close to a flying puppy as you can get.
Okay.
So,
Woman, 53, dies in hometown, felled by ferocious puppy owl. Klaus. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh my God.
so this is Klaus.
Hi, Klaus.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay, Klaus. Well, it was nice to meet you and everything. Okay. Bye.
Overcoming your fears.
Yes, you did fantastic. You did fantastic.
And speaking of girls gone wild, Tucson is also where I went to college.
I can't believe it. I'm back. This is my alma mater, the University of Arizona. It's just as beautiful and sunny as it ever was. But I want to meet some real students of today.
No.
I know just where to go. Knock, knock. Mr. President.
Hey,
Hi.
Savannah.
Yeah,
Great to see you. Just reading about you.
Oh my gosh. It is so good to be back in
Great
Tucson.
to see you. Welcome.
I'm a hugger. This is home.
That's fantastic.
Where-
We're so happy you're back.
Where are all the students?
You remember them all.
Yes.
Welcome home.
So she doesn't, from what I seen, go to her mom's house. However, after this, which is really cute, she goes out to dinner with her mom and her sister, and she showcases them after she tells you about her whole life, what crazy looked her up. And this was only 3 months ago, where she's showcasing her home. Could somebody have been casing her out since she did this? Oh, Savannah Guthrie's from here. Her mom lives there. Oh, fast way to make money. How sad is it that you can't even, if you're famous, you can't even showcase where you come from now? There's many videos where her mom was showcased with her. Here's one right here. Look at Savannah Guthrie's special, Bond with her mom, Nancy. That was 7 days ago. But what it is, it's them showing her the many times that this woman has been on TV with her. Another thought I had was Savannah Guthrie used to work for Court TV. She covered Michael Jackson and some other things. How maybe there's a case she covered that somebody's just really pissed off about the way she covered it. There's so many things that could have led to this. It's quite sad. I hope that by the end of tonight they have answers with the person they detained. But let's finish this video and then we'll go back to about the Bitcoin. I have a couple things lined up here. I'm scrambling around. I'm so used to covering just summer, I get confused when I cover other stuff. I don't have many watchers, but I hope I'm doing okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
I'm here, but where is everybody?
Welcome back home, Savannah.
I think this is my sorority house. I think this is the Pi house. I gotta go in. Hello? Anybody home? Hello? Yes. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Savannah Guthrie. Pi, Pledge Fast 90.
1 second. You might want to back up a little bit.
Back in my day, we just did the secret handshake. Now, they have a viral TikTok dance. You guys just won Best Pi chapter in the country. Is this a snap? That's what we used to do. What does it mean to you to be a Pi and be part of this organization?
I find myself becoming a better version of who I am every single day that I'm in Pi. We have the most amazing emerging leaders, and I'm just so proud of all of them.
Wow, it's so fun to be back here. It's been a long, long time.
Actually, we did find something of yours, and we have a little surprise for you.
Okay. I remember this. This used to hang on the wall.
Yeah, it still does.
Big hair, don't care. Okay, let's see.
There
Here
you
I am.
are, yep.
Oh, yeah, there we am. That's my natural hair color. Guys, thank you so much for having me. I've had the best time. Should we do one more cheer before I go?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. But by far, my favorite part about Tucson is family. El Charro is the oldest family-owned Mexican restaurant in America and the perfect place to catch up with mine, my mom Nancy and sister Annie. I come here every time I come home to Tucson. I have to come to El Charro. How long has El Charro been here? 103 years. Carlota Flores has run El Charro for over 50 years, taking over from her great aunt Monica, the woman who's said to have invented the chimichanga. She treated us to a tradition from back in Prohibition when women playing cards would hide their tequila in teacups. Cheers.
Cheers.
I love being home. Don't drink the whole thing. Well, Mom, you guys came here in the 70s and you'd been moving all around. What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant roots?
It's so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle. Yeah, I like to watch the javelina eat my plants.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home and
Yes.
seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly Pear Margarita? Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Love you.
Love you.
From the love of family to the
How sad. That's proof that her mom was in a sound mind. that she knew what was going on. This was only 3 months prior to her kidnapping. My God, I hope they find this lady.
From your understanding from your law enforcement sources, okay, is that activity related to, I mean, because we obviously got the images just a few hours ago, right, of that individual. And now we have all this action going on the ground around Nancy Guthrie's house, around Annie Guthrie's house with FBI teams and sheriff teams. Is that related in your understanding to anything that we're seeing in this account from law enforcement sources?
I don't feel comfortable answering that. And I'm not trying to be cagey. I will explain at a point why, but I just cannot say anything right now.
So to me, that tells me, yeah, it's connected. There's a lot of things that TMZ was asked not to talk about. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to go through. Maybe tomorrow I'll find all the TMZ interviews. We can listen to what they said throughout the whole process, because they were able to read the emails, which, by the way, weren't even really emails. They came in as like complaints in a complaint form, which is why they used a decoder to send these messages through complaint forms to the news stations. Crazy. And yes, Epstein was gross. It's all the abortions, and it's really sad. I keep trying to think, Bella, like, how could I cover this without? There's another guy that covers it. He's really good. I thought maybe to get comfortable with it, I would watch some of his videos, and you guys could sub up to him. He's really good at covering this. He got a lot of subs, though. I don't know how he'd feel about me sharing his videos. But I might just go through. He's really broken down all the pages and showed you. I might go through the first ones that he's broken down. They're still going through it. And they also, it is hard to listen to. And they also have just unredacted a whole bunch of them and sent a bunch of people, I think it was the DOJ, I'm not sure, don't quote me, and to read these, and they're pissed off because they're still not unredacting the names of the players that were involved with Epstein. And people feel they should be naming the names of the players. So that's going on in the Epstein files too. And then Galen, I don't know how to say her name, had a deposition that they put out yesterday where she mimics, and she sounds just like Epstein, where he did his deposition, where I plead the fifth. I refuse to answer that. Oh, I forget his name, Bella. I think he's a redheaded guy. I have only watched 2 of his videos. I wanted to sit down and really dig. He popped up on my algorithm while I was researching the Epstein files, but it's definitely something I'm going to be going over. Maybe even tomorrow it might be a good idea, because I am trying to stray away from Summer's case just a little bit. Not all the way, but I have to learn how to cover other content, which is what I came out here to do. Not just stick with one case. And there really is no movement in Summer's case right now. It's all drama, speculation, Tiffany, Benny, and I just don't have it in me no more. It's sad, and it's never gonna fucking end between these creators. Jody Sue's on her wall posting all kinds of fuck yous and this, that, and the other. Like, I don't know who they're towards, but it's about Gavel. And hey, did you know he was a house in Columbus, Ohio? Who, Jeff Epstein? I did not know that. He probably had property everywhere. All right.
I will say that, you know, it's not like, I don't know if you've talked about this yet, but the images and the video that we saw today, this is not something that law enforcement had and just decided to finally kind of dole out. They just got it as well. So they were not withholding it. They released it as soon as they got it. Whether you connect the dots or not, you do as you wish, but I'm just telling you that, yes, the video came out earlier today, and a few minutes ago, there was activity for the first time in this account.
I mean, obviously, that's the most significant news that we have received of the day here. What you're saying about that, and just to emphasize it again, that Harvey Levin at TMZ is reporting, because he has that Bitcoin address in the first ransom note, that there was activity in it about now 13 minutes ago, Harvey, and that was what had been provided to the Guthrie family as to where they were supposed to send the ransom money. So, Harvey, do you think that we're there? That something major is about to happen in this case tonight?
I don't know. I don't know. I know that there is an active investigation right now, and it feels more vibrant than it did when it felt like everybody was at a kind of a standstill a few days ago. There seems to be more going on right now. There seems to be more moving parts.
All right, Harvey Levin, thank you very much. I appreciate talking to you so much. Thanks.
Hold on. Instead of typing. Bella.
I'll just say it. To me, he looks younger than the brother-in-law. His mustache looks...
Well, that's an interesting one. Maybe we'll leave that on. The Sasha Riley stuff is interesting as hell. It's interesting to listen to. And I've recently been hearing some other gross shit about Epstein that might lead me to believe Sasha Riley a little bit. I'd like to look deeper into his connections. However, most of the girls that give the story about Epstein all have the same story. They all have the same, Epstein did the same thing to them. He would have them rub them for like 15 minutes. Then he would turn over and he would tell them to drop their clothes. And like, they all have the same story. And that guy's story is so fucking elaborate. I don't know what to make of it. However, after seeing the Epstein files, Bella, anything is fucking possible. So it is something definitely we should listen to 100%. And maybe tomorrow we could do that if you really want to, if you'll be here. All right. I'm going to move on a little bit. Something I wanted to share. I haven't listened to this yet. I just found it. It's a 6-minute video. This is how it says, how crypto Bitcoin could lead back to alleged abductors. Now that we know that they've paid something, right? Let's go back and listen to this news broadcast on Fox 10 Phoenix that was aired one day ago, February 9th, 2026.
Guthrie's return has passed, and the people who sent those messages still unknown. But if the Guthrie family pays the $6 million ransom, a lot of people are asking the question, could that cryptocurrency be traced back to the kidnappers? And joining me now is Betzalel Raviv, CEO of the Lionsgate Network. It's a blockchain forensics team. Thank you, Mr. Raviv, for joining us. So is that question, can that $6 million ransom be traced? Is that something that could happen?
Absolutely. Crypto is based on blockchain technologies, and absolutely it can be traced. Blockchain leaves a...
So as I'm listening to all of this stuff in Nancy Guthrie's case, I'm also listening to shit in Summer's case where this could pertain. Some of the things Quantico might have did, which, by the way, that was an agency that was fucking walking around in Arizona today. I'd like to see them walking around in Rogersville, Tennessee. However, it's interesting to go back and listen to these things that might pertain, things they might do in other cases like Summers. So Jody Sue is constantly accusing people of Bitcoin. I actually have some concerns about Bitcoin in Summers' case, not just Bitcoin, but some stock market shit when it comes to certain things we've spoke about. I'm not going to derail my own life. But I think it's interesting to sit back and think of all the other cases that you listen to and all of the shit that goes on here on YouTube. This is something that I think the people in the true crime community should learn about so that we can look for signs of fraud, laundering, things of that nature.
A unique
This is also a learning process, pretty much.
signature with every single movement of any cent you will send in any crypto in the world. So the answer to that is absolutely yes.
So it can be traced. Is it possible to get it back once it's been sent, or is that not possible?
So the rule of the land is if it's traceable, it's recoverable. And not only that it's recoverable, we can also recover the data that can be mined in the back end of this operation. The OSINT, the open source intelligence nuggets that every single trace leaves, the paper trail of blockchain and the cyber nuggets that blockchain correspond with on any network. So there's a lot to discover with this specific case and with every crypto transaction that is related to malicious entities.
And if you could explain to us with your company, how does this Bitcoin work in an online ledger? What can you see and what information can you glean from that ledger?
So essentially, every single transaction is recorded on Ledger, right? Every single dollar that you will send, even if you'll take $1 and you'll break it into 100 pieces, we are able to trace every single cent to its current locations throughout the journey of how the funds were moved, whether they had some mixers or any kind of different network that were used to trying to cloak the transaction. In blockchain, nothing can be cloaked. Everything is traceable down to the cent, and you just need stronger law enforcement agencies to act in real time based on forensic work that is being delivered to them or that they produce. And this is all about time, because tracing of funds does not mean recovery. Recovery is the element where law enforcement takes action and seize funds in real time. Because essentially, when crypto is being used as a ransom, right, then you cannot turn that into cash only through the custodian's wallets that are available to every American. And if you are able to trace those funds to these specific custodian wallets, then essentially there's no benefits to cyber criminals to use crypto anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking here, is if it's so easily traceable and recoverable, maybe not easy, but it's possible to do for these criminals, they may not get the money they're looking for. And you were mentioning time. Why are the first 24 hours so critical with this type of investigation?
Because money moves fast, and with crypto, it's only with a click of a button. You can send money, you can send tens of millions of dollars with a click of a button. So tracing is this very important part of the process, but law enforcement can wait with the right forensics for that money and anticipate its movement towards the custodian wallets that are the gateway from code crypto to cash, actual money that they can use. And this is what we're looking at, really, because we need to be far more effective in how we understand blockchain and crypto and how we
Like I was saying, I think it's a good educational tool that this case has happened. I think that it's going to go far. Oh, yeah, he had big ties. He worked in Wall Street. All kinds of ties, Bella. Oh, hubby's bringing me dinner. huge ties to Wall Street. He actually worked within Wall Street. Definitely a case we need to go over. You seem really interested, and I'm happy about that because I didn't know if anybody would talk to me about it. But anyways, back to the crypto and Bitcoin. Thank you, Ron.
Okay. I used
Hold on.
the structure didn't hold.
All right, I'm doing keto, and my husband brought me a burger, and he was telling me why it fell apart. I don't have. He came home from work. I was babysitting all day. I haven't had time to do nothing. My grandson did the funniest shit today. I was bullied by a 4-year-old. Seriously, he was running around my house. He took all of my other grandson, my 2-year-old grandson, got into my granddaughter's paint. It wasn't a whole lot, but he painted on his belly and he had his hands covered. So I put him up on the kitchen sink and I'm wiping his hands and his belly down. And the 4-year-old goes, "He needs a bath. Mello needs a bath." And I'm like, "No, we're not going to bath him. I can wipe the paint off." And Nico says to me, "Mimi, we're getting a bath." He takes his clothes up, runs upstairs, and absolutely refuses to come out of the damn tub. So I just made a bubble bath for them, let them play. The paint was gone. The 4-year-old was happy. It made Mimi happy. It kept me busy for a little bit, kept them busy for a little bit. It's funny when you get old and you have grandbabies. It's different than having your own babies. It's the same. You have so much love for them. Some, if that is conspiracy, I hope. Yeah, I heard about the satanic rituals too. My daughter said that. You heard they ate the baby. She said that there was a picture in there with the baby's feet. I don't even want to see no shit like that. That's the shit I'm scared of. That's what I don't want to see. My daughter and I had a big battle about that because then it was supposedly removed from the Epstein files. I didn't see the picture, but she wants me to go through them and find this picture. All right, let me put this Bitcoin stuff back on. Just my point was that it's really important that I think that everybody out here on YouTube learns about the different ways that Bitcoin and stock markets and the financial businesses of our country and all other countries and offshore accounts and shell companies and things like that. I think it's very important that we discover and learn about these things because, in my opinion, in Summer's case, there's been a lot of laundering. All right.
Intercept the activities of cyber criminals that feel very free to target people through crypto because they do understand the playbook of law enforcement agencies around the world. They just take too much time to respond. And we need to be able to change that myth and the narrative of weak, slow law enforcement. And the best way to do that is just to take actions we've never taken before and be far more effective in response.
A final question for you, Mr. Raviv. With criminals using Bitcoin in this way, and especially in this Guthrie situation here, the kidnapping, do you believe that these kidnappers or kidnapper knows exactly what they're doing in terms of Bitcoin? Is it your thought that they may be professional or maybe not at all and didn't realize how easily this could be traced and recovered?
They have to be incredibly dumb, for the lack of a better word, requesting money in crypto from intelligent cyber criminals is the last thing you want to think of, because just with the exposure of your crypto wallet, we at Lionsgate Network can deliver incredible assets just based on that wallet without needing so much information or even sending a single dollar. But even when you offer that wallet, we can probe that wallet by sending 99 cents, not $1 even, to be able to trace and see where that money lands. And that gives us incredible data, which makes it, again, a playground where we eradicate, which is what we need to do these days, scammers and cyber criminals.
Mr. Raviv from Lionsgate Network, a blockchain forensics team, thank you so much for joining us and really explaining how this all works. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Search for Nancy Guthrie. Today, the FBI going door to door in a neighborhood about 4 miles away.
The haunting new video out of Tucson showing a masked person with a gun disabling her front door camera. Where they're live.
NBC4 News at 7 starts with breaking news.
As we just heard, right now at 7, there is a major new development in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Person of interest has been detained in Tucson just hours after the FBI released those new images of an armed and masked person at her front door. We have that live report from Tucson.
Robert Kovacic is live in Tucson for us with the latest developments for us. Robert.
Michael and Colleen, again, we know that a person has been detained, but that is important to note that they have been detained. An arrest has not been made. Also important to note that the images that were released about 10 o'clock this morning here our time, there is no verification that the person that has right now being questioned and being talked to by authorities is the person that has been seen in the videos. So we have been here outside of the home of Nancy Guthrie. And as you take a look behind me, this home was now the center of the investigation starting this morning when you saw those images. And then the federal agents got involved and the FBI started to canvass not just this area where Nancy Guthrie lives, but let's show you a map. We're looking at two different homes here. Nancy Guthrie's home and the home surrounding her daughter, Annie Guthrie, Savannah's older sister, who lives about 4 miles away, a 10-minute drive. Throughout the afternoon and live on NBC4 Newscast throughout the afternoon, we showed you FBI agents not only going door to door, but you see them, they're in storm drains, they're going through the wash in the neighborhood. These are FBI agents who are knocking on doors with specific questions. Among the specific questions they asked neighbors we spoke to were, can we see your video? Can we see your doorbell video? And one of the neighbors explained that they asked for the doorbell video and they asked him to scroll back, and he was happy to do it, to look for a specific time stamp on that video. His name is Joe Contreras, and we spoke to him minutes after the FBI left.
They're just trying to look in the yards and, see what's going on. And they looked at my Ring cameras on the 31st, see if anything showed up as far as that night. I guess the night she disappeared.
Did they ask you for a specific time?
No, we went through my cameras and we actually found the time. We didn't find any vehicles moving at that time in front of my house.
What time were they asking though, Joe?
What was it, 12 p.m. or something like that on the 31st? Yeah.
In the afternoon?
Night,
12 p.m. at night on the 31st, going into Sunday morning. I see.
And then you look at these images, Michael and Colleen, again, released by the FBI today. They are perhaps a glimpse into what appeared to have happened that night to 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie and when she disappeared. As you see there, it's a masked intruder with a slow, deliberate gait, appearing hunched over. It looks like a backpack that may be full, that may be heavy, with reflective stickers on it. And then the person outside of Nancy Guthrie's home obscures the doorbell camera, and those are plants that appear to be pulled out of the ground. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel, who we have been talking about, came to Tucson this week for unrelated business, then decided to get involved here. Today, he is the one who released the videos and the photos. These are images, remember, that were recovered from back-end systems. The camera outside of Nancy Guthrie's home is a Nest camera. It is owned by Google. And according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department, that intruder allegedly tampered with, damaged, or even removed that camera. So it took a while for their backup systems to get these images. Why were these images released? It is because they showed them initially to the Guthrie family. The Guthrie family apparently said they did not know the individual in these images. Law enforcement, especially law enforcement in this area that would be familiar with, you know, quote unquote, bad guys or bad girls, bad women, did not recognize any of the people, the individuals in this. No one recognized the individual. And so it was.
What kills me is I was watching another live before I came live, and they made such a great point. What idiot doesn't bring spray paint so that they don't got to mess with the camera? Like, you're going to go pick up bushes and shrubs and put it up there and play with the camera. I don't think he is, Bella. I think they got him. I think we just don't know yet. They have somebody they detained. I'm sure they're questioning, probably interrogating. It's probably going to be a very long interrogation. I think they do have somebody. They're just not reporting it yet. Okay, so one more video before I get off of here because it's late and I'm eating dinner. Is we're going to go a little bit in the funny thing here. We got two YouTubers familiar to us down in Arizona. Dolly's just speculating. I want you, he did get very good video of the people that were canvassing the area. He got some drone footage. I don't know that it's in here. I didn't look. But he explained a lot of what he's seen down there today. So I figured we'd give this like a 15-minute listen. But I was cracking the fuck up. I don't know if we'll get to the part. But it seemed to me like Dolly was trying to suck up the JLR and go see JLR and talk to JLR. And there's this guy with a hog. And all Dolly's doing is going, oh, the hog. And the guy's out there giving pertinent information. And Dolly's so enthralled by this fucking pig. He's following JLR everywhere. Then he seems like he's mad, so he goes to the other part. But he does do a really good job explaining what's going on in the area. So I thought we'd give him at least a little bit of a listen. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'll skip ahead to the pig part. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on here. He was just driving down the street, parking everywhere. We'll start like right here.
But there's a junkyard building right here. See it? They were right here. They're coming through here. They went out over here. It looks so much different from the sky. They're walking through here. Here's the junkie area they were just at. See it? See all the junk? They were just right there in all that junk. But then they started walking this way. So they would be somewhere around right there. There they are. I told you I seen them. I followed them with that drone. So she's right here. There's their truck. Yeah, that's FBI right there. They're right here at this house. There's FBI right there. FBI. So they're right here at this home. We just seen her. That's their truck. And they're walking up here. I guess what they're saying is they're going door to door. She got in the truck. She's getting ready to leave. But FBI's out. That's an FBI truck right there. Somebody else went up here. I don't know if she was speaking with the neighbor or whatever, but there's a couple of them, and they were on foot. I don't know if that was a neighbor that I droned that was walking with her, but that was definitely her. And they were at this house here. She came out that driveway, but the area they were searching, I'm going to take you down here, guys. I left my car in the road, but ain't nobody around. They're all on the other street over there. They came down through here because I was above them on the drone, because I could see that power line. But there's a big tree right there. See the big palm tree? That's how I knew where they were at. But they were back here, down this dirt road here. Now, I don't want to trespass, but I'm going to walk you down here because there's a whole bunch of debris. And, of course, everybody's in the front of the house is way over there, which is 2 blocks back from where Annie lives. Okay? I don't know if y'all can see that. I seen it good with the drone. I was like, okay, they're searching through this junkyard. Let me blow it up a little, see if y'all can see it. So, I don't know if there's more of them in the woods over here or not.
How about if I switch from this for a minute? This just came out 6 minutes ago that there is a Southern Arizona home, a warrant served.
A lot of activity unfolding as we speak tonight. Deputies took that man into custody, calling him a person of interest during a traffic stop in Rio Rico, which is about 20 minutes north of the border.
And this is all unfolding hours after detectives released this new surveillance footage of a man with a gun wearing a mask and gloves tampering with Nancy Guthrie's doorbell camera the morning of her abduction. Our true crime correspondent Brianna Whitney is live tonight in Tucson. Things are progressing rapid fire right now, Brianna.
Oh gosh, it feels every hour that we're learning something new in the investigation as it pertains to this person that was detained for questioning in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. I can confirm from my vantage point here at the Pima County Sheriff's Department, just a bit ago, their command post got back, as well as a Marana police truck that was with it. Those are all agencies believed to be part of this effort. I want to show you video from Green Valley tonight. This is where a bunch of these media these law enforcement agencies were staging together as part of this kind of multi-agency effort to detain this person. We know happening right now, there is a court-authorized search of a home in Rio Rico. 2 sources confirm that this is the home of the person who was detained in questioning in the investigation that is happening now as we speak. We also have the FBI director, Kash Patel, confirming tonight that they have multiple persons of interest. Again, 1 person detained in custody for questioning tonight, but they are looking at multiple persons of interest in this investigation. Let's take it back to what happened earlier today with the surveillance video that was released, that chilling video showing a masked person coming up to the door. The surveillance video finally able to come off of that Google Nest camera. They had been working for over a week to forensically retrieve that video. You can see that man there. He's kind of, bends over, slumped weird, getting up to that front porch. He then grabs part of a plant. He kind of waves that in the camera before disabling and disarming that camera as well. You have to hope and possibly believe that getting that surveillance video out there and those pictures, they were crystal clear, helped in getting to where we are tonight, just hours later, a person detained in custody, being questioned tonight. That is not the only investigative effort that's happening in Rio Rico, but there's been quite a bit today, as you guys mentioned earlier in the show. I want to show you some video as well from Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. This is Nancy's daughter. This is Savannah Guthrie's sister. not too long after that surveillance video was released, both the FBI and sheriff's deputies were back in Annie's neighborhood, going door to door, talking to neighbors about, what did they see? Is there any more that they could provide? We don't know why the investigators went back to Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. It wasn't the first time they had been there. They had conducted some other investigative efforts at the house as well. Just the day before that, they were taking pictures inside. So there has been law enforcement activity there too. But the crux of it tonight happening south of Tucson in Rio Rico as they continue to do a search of this home believed to be of the person who was detained for questioning in the Nancy Guthrie investigation tonight. We're still working to learn night unfolds about this investigation. I think the most important thing, though, is that not only do we know that there's somebody in custody tonight and they are trying to get more information out of them, but two important things to note. We don't know if this person that's in custody is the same person that's on the surveillance video. We also don't know if this person's related to the alleged ransom note. We can confirm at one point today at 5 p.m. there was money that was put into that Bitcoin link. It was a small amount, and that was believed to be in so we could communicate with the sender. We don't know if this person who's in custody right now is related to that or is the person that is on camera in that surveillance video. Because they're looking at multiple persons of interest, it could be any of the above. But more importantly than anything, we still don't know the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie tonight. That is something that everybody is eagerly awaiting. And I, of course, as we get more information and if authorities know, we will bring you the very latest on that. But just because somebody is in custody does not mean that we have any new concrete details as of now on Nancy Guthrie's whereabouts. But of course, we're on the ground here monitoring in Tucson. We've got crews spread out across the southern Arizona area as we continue to follow this investigation into the night. But certainly so much has unfolded in a very short amount of time, you guys, and I don't think that it's over for tonight as we continue on learning more about this person who was detained and where the Nancy Guthrie investigation stands.
Yeah,
I'll send it back to you.
certainly not, Brianna. There is quite a flurry of activity. We do have a crew with our CNN affiliate down in Rio Rico, and we're working to flip some of that interview they had with a woman who said it is her house that is being searched actively right now by detectives. She said it was her son-in-law, it was her daughter's vehicle that was pulled over, her son-in-law detained, and then her son was inside, she said, playing Nintendo when detectives went in, brought him out in handcuffs. So that sounds like a secondary person who has been detained tonight. We're waiting to get details on that. But then when they asked her, did you see the surveillance footage? Does that look like anyone in your family? She said, my son doesn't have any of those clothes. And she didn't quite have any answers, but she kind of came home as this was all unfolding at a home in Rio Rico, again, an hour south of Tucson, 20 minutes north of the border. But Brianna, I know FBI Director Kash Patel is in Tucson, and he said earlier, people of interest, persons of interest, multiple people. So underscoring not just one human who we saw in that surveillance footage.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that's something of note tonight. For the last 10 days, we've all been wondering.
So some ladies coming out and saying that it's her son-in-law and son that were detained and questioned. They have been using terminology like persons of interest and people of interest. When the guy walks up on the porch, you could see him looking over as if he's looking at a second person. And in one of the stills, it looks like a different guy. The jacket looks different. There's no fur on here. It doesn't look like he has a book bag on. Could just be the view of it, but you guys go check it out. This is an interesting listen. I'm going to turn it back on, but I did find the part with Dolly we're going to watch, and then I'll get off after that. Let's finish and listening to this. We got a good 6 minutes left.
Wondering whether or not this was a one-person job or not. I'm just paying attention. Sorry, as I'm answering your question, Nicole, I can see the SWAT vehicle has just come back here in the Pima County Sheriff's Department. I could hear it behind me. So as I'm answering your question, that's coming back here as we know Marana Police and then the other command posts were coming in just a few minutes ago. So now that has arrived back here, possibly part of the investigation. But yeah, no, we don't know exactly who is what in terms of if it's the person in the video or not. But I think at this point you can kind of decipher from what Kash Patel is saying that there's probably going to be multiple people detained, probably in a very short amount of time. So if one at least confirmed tonight, possibly another, we're hearing more from CNN on that. And so we'll learn a little bit more if there's other detainments happening tonight. But yeah, as this unfolds, I think we're going to see more than one. And was this a coordinated effort? I mean, these are some questions that are serious in this investigation. The hard part about all of this, though, is huge updates in the case. But where is Nancy? I mean, we still don't know where she is, and that is desperate on everybody's mind. So we're hoping to hear more from authorities as soon as possible.
Yeah, that is certainly one of the ongoing questions, Brianna. As we continue talking to you, I believe we can take a live look at the scene in Rio Rico tonight, about an hour south of your location. Brianna, it certainly seemed like all day something was boiling up to this point we're at here tonight. Late in the morning, we got those surveillance footage, images and videos from the doorbell camera, which the doorbell camera was dismantled and trashed. We have no idea where that camera is, and we didn't know until this morning whether those images even existed. And then we got them. They were so much crisper and clearer than we could have imagined. It was the kind of thing, if you knew that person who was on her front doorstep personally, you would recognize the way that person walked. You might recognize their eyes or a piece of clothing or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was so key. That was a big break, the first big break they got in this case. And then late today, right around 5 o'clock, there was that mysterious Bitcoin deposit in that account. We know because our sister station in Tucson got the original ransom note 1 week ago, which included that Bitcoin, that crypto account, asking the Guthrie family to pay a ransom to get Nancy's safe return. And a week later, it seems they made a deposit. We're not releasing how much money was put in there, but that was the second big development today. And then all of a sudden, the SWAT vehicles from your location, they started kind of gathering. They were down in Green Valley, south of your location, and then
So these SWAT vehicles have been to several homes, more than one. She's witnessing it. He confirmed the Bitcoin, but also said he's not going to tell you the amount. The guy from TMZ was acting extremely strange about it, which tells me that they changed the amount of the Bitcoin and a third letter may have gone out today. And it may have been a help to all of this. I can't wait to see if they find this lady tonight. I pray to God they didn't get her over the border or something, and these people just wasted their time sending Bitcoin. This is so freaking scary that this could happen to somebody who you would think a millionaire who should have the best security on the earth. Like, I don't get why this 84-year-old woman lived in such an extravagant home by herself on such a dark road with no street lights.
made this detainment tonight. But Brianna, to recap, as I ramble, at this point, no one has been labeled a suspect. These are all people who've been detained for questioning, correct? What do you think they'll be doing over the course of the next few hours at the home and in the police department or sheriff's office or wherever that questioning is happening?
Yeah, I think that's a twofold answer. So in these next few hours into the overnight hours, there's two things I believe they'll be doing. One, they're going to collect as much evidence from that home in Rio Rico as they can, and they'll send that for DNA testing, right? I mean, if you're talking about persons of interest in this case and you believe they're involved or connected to Nancy Guthrie, you are absolutely looking for Nancy Guthrie's DNA, belongings, items that would show that she was, with them, associated with them in these last 10 days. You want that evidence testing to come back ASAP. So my guess is they're going to be taking things out. I also believe that they will be doing extreme forensics testing overnight as well. Cell phones, laptops, anything that could show location data. I mean, they're going to be combing through that for any sort of coordinated response from these persons of interest as to any clues as to where Nancy Guthrie could be.
Something else that bothers me, I thought about after covering Summer's case, and even after taking ownership of my own home, you could go on to these websites and look at the layout of a house when you're looking at home assessments. Like, the layout of every house in America is right there at somebody's fingertips. Like, these people either had to know the layout of this huge home, or they had to have been on a property assessment looking at it. Now, with famous people. I know this from living in Miami and known a few myself, truthfully, as a kid. When you look at their pictures on the map, their houses are usually blurred out. So I don't know that they would put the county assessments on houses of people that are famous or that have so much money. I mean, that's something I want to look into. I want to look and see, because I just don't understand how these people would have known the layout of the house to go find this lady in a certain position of this huge home. The house was huge. It was big. It looked small when you come up, but she had a pool, all kinds of stuff.
And that's one thing that I believe they'll be doing. From the interrogation standpoint, I don't believe they'll just let these people off the hook. So you have to imagine that this person, at least the one person we have confirmed that's detained, is being questioned by probably multiple authorities, not just the sheriff's deputies, but certainly the FBI as well. And they're going to be trying to get as much information out of this person as possible. If there are multiple persons of interest in this case, you can also imagine that one of the tactics could be that they'll try to get, other people to turn on each other if this is a coordinated effort. And so that's something that we may see overnight into the early morning hours as well. But I think from those two perspectives, you got the digital forensics that they're absolutely going to be looking into immediately. The FBI is stellar at that. You've got then the evidence that you want to test in terms of DNA. Is there any signs of Nancy Guthrie? Is there any signs of life of Nancy Guthrie? That's going to be huge. And then, of course, just that face-to-face conversation, interrogating, kind of that old school interrogation. You have to imagine that the deputies and the FBI agents who are working on that will be questioning this person who's detained, for hours into the night.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be interesting is after an arrest is officially made, the interrogation tapes are going to come out. These ones are going to be interesting to watch. I feel like they will keep this case because it's so public, and the public all the way through trial. What do you think? If they make an arrest, I feel like they will keep, it will be a court TV, like OJ, the trial of the century, All right, you get the point of this. We're going to go to Dolly real quick before I head off of here. This guy, do you guys remember the big fight he had with JLR after the Quentin Simon case and Betty, after Dolly was messing with Betty? Like, I like that kind of drama stuff. It's like a soap opera, So JLR totally ignores Dolly the whole time today, doesn't even talk to him. He's out there acting like he's Mr. Professional, which maybe he's getting a little bit of experience. I do have to say, though, I'm happy that these two don't have a bullhorn and they're not blowing outside of the house. I'd like to know why Betty won't cover a case this big and do that in front of somebody's house in a case this big. I'm shocked she didn't go to Annie Guthrie's house. It just seems to be her MO. I don't know. But let's watch this.
See, everybody's set up over here, but the police ain't over here. They're way over there. So, but there's a lot of, would it cut through thorns? There's JLR.
There's JLR.
Up here. Of course, they got all the news. They're looking at multiple places. Oh, there's a wild pig. Look at that shit.
This guy's out here giving information, and all Dolly's talking about is JLR and this wild pig. He couldn't wait. This wild pig, this wild pig. It was pretty funny. However, I want you to see what happens after this as well, as he goes down the road and parks and pulls out and talks to some other people. And you could see the FBI coming out. You could see them coming out with Quantico. So this isn't just about that. We're going to watch a few minutes of it, but this shit's funny as fuck. Like, the JLR just totally snubs them.
Oh, there's the police over there. That's what they're filming. So there's a pig, a big ass boar.
He's gonna pull over, but wait. He stops his car in the middle of the fucking street where all the news reporters are over there trying to report the police talking to the neighbors. Dolly's just on this shit, man. He got it.
Walking right there. All right, so we got the police over here. Like I said, they had a big old boar just stroll through the yard over here. What's up?
House by house, it seems like, huh?
Yeah, they were on the back street too, searching through the woods.
Oh, they were in the woods?
Yeah, they're on the other street too.
They probably have, what do you think, 5 or 6 teams out here?
I don't know. Somebody said 3.
3?
That they broke up into 3 teams. But here's one. One of them is way over there in the woods over there, searching this lady's backyard. We were just watching them. So this is just one group of them. But it ain't like they're...
I actually can't wait to see Dolly's drone footage. I hope he recorded some of it, because what he's explaining is they were doing more than just going and asking for cameras. They were actually digging through people's yards and in the back of the woods and searching trailers. And it's interesting to hear what he was seeing and to actually see it. You're going to see these teams come out in full force.
Just going door to door. They're searching.
Yeah, they're doing around at least.
So, because I was watching them search, even when I was droning.
He got the mic a minute. It's going to come back on. But here you see one team of people coming out. I think he puts the mic back on right after they leave. They have FBI shirts on. And you see them leave one driveway and go right into the other. There's JLR. So when they come out, the guy comes out and they're all asking this guy questions. Look, JLR totally snubbing Dolly, moving away from him. Like, fuck this. But this guy comes out and he's talking, and all he could talk about is this pig. Well, all these people are asking questions to this guy, like, what is the FBI asking you? What did they want to know? There we go.
Okay, now we should have sound. Okay, thank you, Tiffany. So, is this another homeowner talking with the FBI and the sheriff's office? And they have a wild pig out here, a boar.
You still see the javelina? The javelina still there?
No, it was kind of. There's another one. There's them wild pigs out here. That was crazy. I have never seen a pig in the wild like that, just walking around. Of course, we got the FBI right there. Is that an orange tree? That's what it looks like. Is that oranges? It is. That's an orange tree. Okay, here we go. We got one of the FBI agents taking a look around the back. He just broke out his stick just in case that pig gets him. You know, they have to be searching for something. They're not just going door to door talking to people. They're going around searching. So what are they looking for? That they're looking, you know, a block over from Banfield's prime suspect is what I'm going to say. Okay. I mean, they wouldn't be looking in this neighborhood if it wasn't for Annie and Tommaso. So, I mean, the speculation's growing. I mean, after the day with the photo coming out, you would think maybe less of them possibly having anything to do with it, but it seems like it's heated up towards them a little bit. He ducked his head. I don't blame him. I ducked my head too. I'm like, I don't want to be seen on all these cameras. So, you know, everybody's going out here with the tumbleweeds. Okay, they're looking in garages. This is weird. Why would they be doing all this?
Nothing jail. He keeps moving away from Dolly, and Dolly keeps coming back to him.
Let's go down here. Maybe we can get a visual.
So pretty. The landscape there is just gorgeous.
The neighbors out, but I don't. I've never seen so many cacti in my damn life. I'm gonna have to bring one back with me, like my souvenir from where we at? Arizona? I don't even know where I'm at. Tucson, Arizona, in the desert. Okay, they're coming out now. Oh man.
JLR is the only one asking questions.
They ask you, like, do you see anything suspicious or anything? This is the first time they've been by? It's all this going to happen?
Look at the pig.
What'd they ask Ben?
Look at the pig.
Look at the pig.
How do you feel about the situation?
It's like the fucking Lion King.
Phoenix.
It looks like the little war on the Lion King.
This whole
Did you know they were already in the neighborhood, or was anybody talking?
Nope. Nobody's talking. No time for our neighbors. Too many heavily.
So do you mind telling us your name?
Lorenzo Jensen.
Lorenzo Jensen.
Yeah.
Jensen?
Yeah.
Lorenzo, Lorenzo.
That's right.
Perfect, thank you.
Have a good day, Lorenzo.
Okay, that's the first time I've ever seen a pig walk by. We don't see that on the East Coast.
Look, he's following JLR.
He was like, no big deal. It's just a javelino or whatever the hell they called it. I mean, I call it a wild pig. I don't know what everybody else calls it. That's insane. He said they only attack foreigners.
So what you're seeing is JLR and Dolly are following the FBI from house to house and recording them. However, Dolly does eventually give up the JLR thing. Let me see, where are we at? He gets in his car.
She's from Reuters. Close that.
What I want you to see is I'm going to put this on fast speed so we can get there. He gets to a driveway where you get a really good look. There's like mobile homes or like what do you call them? Trailers that are in this driveway, and Dolly pulls up to it, and the FBI is coming out, and Dolly's explaining to you a little bit what he's seen on a drone. But you're going to see as they come out, Quantico's with them, the FBI's with them. It's wild, man. I don't understand why they don't do this for other cases, especially missing children. I get it. This lady's worth a lot of money, and it's important, and the Bitcoin, and there's so many different aspects of it. But there's missing babies out there. I'd like to see this done for every missing persons case. Maybe we wouldn't have missing persons at all if people seen that people weren't fucking around when it came to people kidnapping people.
We got like 2,000 of you in the room. We'll go up, turn around, come back down. Look at the rabbit. I'm seeing all kind of wildlife out here. I just seen a rabbit. I seen a pig. Look, there's a rabbit. You seen Nancy, little rabbit? You can tell us. You can tell us. I'm gonna set a halt for you. All right. Jackrabbit. So we got one on it lady here. What is that? Is that a roadrunner or is that a bird running with something? Thank you so much. Thank you, Super Chatter. There's all kind of wild animals. You don't think you see much in the desert. They got pigs just walking around. Look, there's a Cybertruck in its natural environment. All right, okay, here we got more police searching canvassing right here. See your gun and the badge on the side. Right here, look, FBI, more FBI.
He's still talking about them pigs the whole way down. Let me slow this down now. He's like, oh, the Cybertruck in its natural environment. I agree. Them Tesla trucks are so fucking ugly. That does look like it belongs in the desert. I absolutely agree with you. All right, so we're going to play this. But as you see, this lady right here, I believe, is from Quantico. Was it this video?
So they're going door to door, hitting everybody. So there is probably about 5 teams. There's more over here, searching, checking campers, and see the gates opening. People filming. Of course, people are filming. This is what people do. Oh, you're working hard?
Hardly worth it, depending on how you look at it, I guess.
There you go. That's the best way.
How about yourself? Where you at?
Huh? I'm a podcaster. I do a YouTube channel. Does true crime. It's called Dolly Vision.
Dolly Vision, I love the name.
Yeah.
I'll have to check you out. That one I can remember because I love Dolly.
There you go. There's 2 of them. There's one that's great and there's one that ain't. I'm the one that ain't.
You got a lot to live up to with that name.
There you go. So, you know, of course. He worked at Raytheon, I heard that. So they're hitting door to door, every house. Oh, he's showing the FBI something on his phone. Working hard?
I'll never understand why every time a missing person goes missing, this isn't done.
You guys out here putting in some hard work. The community appreciates it.
I'm not sure if this is the video where I seen the Quantico or not. I thought it was, which is why I brought it back here. If not, I'll find that video. However, as you see, look at this effort. What will piss me off is that these other people have it, and it had nothing to do with Annie Guthrie. And the FBI wasted all their money and resources in that area, canvassing, going door to door, searching each and every single property. And these people didn't even take this kid because it gave speculation to the daughter. I also, like Dolly, don't understand this area. Is it somebody connected to Annie? I doubt it. My thought is they were just at Annie's house because the mom was there that night. However, something I heard tonight on the news, and it was speculation even on the news channel I heard it on, was that Annie Guthrie's husband works within walking distance of Annie. I keep calling her Annie. That's not her name. Miss Guthrie. We'll just call her Miss Guthrie. All right, guys, but let's watch this for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to head off.
But they're hitting every house, door to door. Not only just hitting the houses, but of course searching the properties, looking through the waterways, because you know the desert, they have those runoffs, and they seem to be checking all those runoffs. There was a team on the next street. There was a team down here where the pig was, and of course, so that's 1, 2, 3, at least 4 different teams out here scouring the neighborhood, and they're not leaving any stone unturned. That's for sure. I have to say that they're doing their best to try to find answers for this. And you know, of course, the FBI, all the way up to the president of the United States of America, is talking about this. So but there's, you know, there's so much, right? And just even all these people out here searching this area, it's still like a needle in the haystack. It's this area is so massive and so big, and I mean, if you really wanted to hide somebody, it would be so hard to find them. We see more people back here near that RV over there. And my big thing is this, is if they wasn't investigating Annie and Tomasa, like Banfield, the OG, one of the greats of true crime, and y'all might disagree with me, but I don't care. I like Banfield and Nancy and Vinny. There's a bunch of people I like. But, I mean, she may, you know, from the beginning, she knew things. And I was thinking, Banfield's not lying. I don't know if she's being told the truth, but you can tell that she believed what she was being told, because she doubled down on it, tripled down on it, and stood 10 toes in the sand. Y'all have sound? Okay. I know by the time I get back on the East Coast, I'm going to have a good tan. Okay. I ain't used to this West Coast weather. It's actually pretty nice when it's not, the sun's not directly on you. So, I mean, I believe in miracles. So, but they're heading this way, so they're going to have to walk right past us. We'll hit them with the Go FBI. I just seen one of them turn off at that house. I wonder if any of them's named Clarice. All right. What would Hannibal Lecter say when they walk by? Give me a good Hannibal Lecter quote before they get here.
I had enough of this. You get the point. I just wanted you to see the activity, because I felt like Dolly had a good up close and personal look at it, as you could see the FBI and the feds coming off of the driveways. You could see they were looking and spending a little bit of time on the area. Dolly had said he was droning, and he caught them looking in the woods, looking in certain areas. I mean, I think it's amazing work. I think they're doing everything they should be doing. Just wish it was done in Summer's case. She's innocent. She was only 5 years old. Miss Guthrie's 84. Not saying she doesn't deserve to be found. Everybody deserves to be found. But Summer has a whole life. Maybe one day Trump will pay attention if somebody makes a fuss about it. I'm not going to do it with my 9 watchers. All right, guys. Give me a like. Anybody who comes in after and watches later, like it up. I'm going to get heading off, and I'm going to go to bed for the night. I'll be back tomorrow with some Summer, something somewhere or other down the lines. I'll see you tomorrow. Pez Amore, peace and love. Good night.